What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another fan show. The link is in the community section if you want to come and join us and have your say on Tottenham's 1-0 defeat to Brighton today at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which you got to say has just blown the top four race back completely wide open. Arsenal currently playing now. Man United already 1-0 up against Norwich. So if that stays the same, they're 3 points behind us with the same games played. How are you looking at the top four race now?
Well, before today, we were all living lavish. Today, after that defeat, disappointing defeat as well, I must say. We created nothing. Now they're winning 1-0. That currently on the live table, yeah, they're 3 points behind us. So United are in sixth. Arsenal currently drawing 0-0 in fifth on 55 points. And we are on 57. We need Southampton to pull something out the bag. James Ward-Prowse whips in a ball and someone just gets on it. But, you know, even if West Ham win tomorrow, they're 3 points behind us. I know they're more focused on the Europa League, and I highly doubt they'll do something like that. But, you know, it's wide open now. It really is.
It really is. And, you know, what do you put today down to? Was it just an off day to Spurs?
I don't want to be that guy, but I think you've got to give Conte some stick.
In terms of?
Substitutions were late. We didn't change the shape. Tactically, we were outclassed by Brighton. Every time we had a player get on the ball, we were pressed. We were put under pressure. Most of the play we had was in our third.
And they moved the ball so much quicker than us, didn't they?
They had more energy. There was more tempo to their play. When we had it, we were running out of ideas. The fact that Danny Welbeck is coming off the bench and causing Dyer, Romero, Davis problems just shows how poor we were. The fact that Romero, once again, was one of our best players just shows how shaky we can be at times from a defensive point. I mean, we had one little chance where Højbjerg puts a ball through and Reguilon unfortunately misses it. Apart from that, you know, Kane had a shot inside 20 seconds. Can you think of anything else?
No. But I think Southampton might have just scored.
Really?
1 second. It's everything suspended from a Southampton corner. Give me 1 second. Please come through, Southampton.
No, they haven't, unfortunately.
They haven't?
No,
no, they haven't. No, it's not a goal there, but it was a Southampton corner. But anyway, back onto Spurs. When you're looking at, well, back on your question, did I see any other chances? No, it was literally just that drag through from Højbjerg where Reguilon should have done better, and that chance for Sonny in the box where he hit a man. But that was literally it for the whole game. And at home against Brighton, that is nowhere near good enough. Yeah. Nowhere near.
But we've seen this before. We lost to Southampton. We lost to Wolves. We've lost to now Brighton. And it seems to be that we go on a run of games. When Conte first came in, we went 10 games unbeaten, and we looked strong. He looked like a new man's come into the dressing room and woke these players up. But you made a very, very, very good point on stream. It's still the same players. The bulk of this team, Davis, Mora, Dyer, these are all Poch players. Conte needs to get a grip of this team and actually sign his players.
But will Daniel Levy let him do that? Yeah,
he doesn't have a choice. I've said this many times. This is a win-win situation from a Spurs fan. Either Conte will blow this thing up and Levy will be slightly more exposed, because our fan base, I'd probably say at the moment, it's more 55% Levy out, 45% Levy in. If Conte really exposes the flaws that we're not buying the players that we need, we're not going and getting, for instance, a Brozovic, a Bastoni, a Milan Skriniar, Dybala, all these players, Diaz, we've been linked with. If he doesn't do that, Conte will expose him. Then you've got the flip side is, if Conte leaves, who could we get as a replacement at the moment? Because there's one name which everyone keeps mentioning, and it was the guy that beat us today, Potter. But I don't think Potter comes in. I don't think he leaves Brighton. And even if he did leave Brighton, you're looking at 30 million we've got to pay them.
I think when Potter looks at it, he might think that he's taken Brighton as far as he can now. I genuinely believe that, because do you really think, can Potter take Brighton to the next level? Is he ever going to finish above mid-table with them?
No, because they don't have enough investment.
That's what I'm saying. So,
but he's a very good coach.
He is a very good coach.
They've just come to North London and beat us and Arsenal.
It's mad, man. And they put out a tweet saying North London is ours.
And they were the better team on both games.
Yeah,
it's not like they've got a Burnley result and dragged a 1-0 win, is it?
I genuinely believe if we were to let Conte go at the end of this season, or even at the end of next season, or if he walks or whatever, I think Poch is going to be our next manager.
See, I don't want Poch back. Not yet. Let him. He's gone to PSG. He's had this massive job with massive ego players: Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Ramos, Donnarumma. All these stars. He needs to go back to a club and get his philosophy of football back in before he comes to us. Conte is miles a better coach than Poch.
I agree with you. But what we're not saying Poch over Conte. We're saying if Conte walks or if Conte leaves.
If Conte walks, would you have Poch back?
Yeah, I would. I would in a heartbeat. I think that he would probably be the best manager available to us.
But I'm not being negative again. But when it comes down to the big games, it's the same thing with Poch. It's mistake after mistake.
Poch can only come back under the circumstances that Levy backs him. And if Levy's not going to back Conte...
We might as well, yeah. It swings and roundabouts. We back Conte. If you was to give Conte £200 million, we would be right up there at the moment. If you brought in a solid left-sided centre-back, a Bastoni, a Skriniar, a De Vrij, a number 10, like a Dybala on a free, another striker, and another box-to-box midfielder, we would be third. We'd be up there with Chelsea. But... will he do it? And it doesn't matter if we have Poch, it doesn't matter if we have Conte, Mourinho, it's the owner.
Agreed.
You know?
Completely agreed. Just
Brentford are 1-0 up.
Yeah, just about to say, keeping an eye on all the games at the moment. Brentford have just scored with Christian Norgard. Arsenal still 0-0. 17 minutes gone there at St Mary's, and they've already had more shots on target in that game than we had all game today.
It's laughable, isn't it? It is actually laughable. Well, the Brentford goal's been disallowed, apparently, but it's just...
Oh, is it?
How can... Well, according to Google...
I think so.
According to Google, it has. Oh, no.
No, it's still there. It's still there.
But how have we gone 90 minutes without a shot on target?
It's like a throwback to early Nuno. We were saying, oh, what a difference Conte makes from that. But look, I think that Conte has made such a difference, and he's brought us to such a level...
When we don't win, you're surprised.
It's not that when we don't win, we're surprised. We always know we have these performances in us. But at the moment, this is a one-off, right? Since we've come onto form since the Man City game. Yeah, fine, we lost to Burnley, which was a one-off. Then we went on a good run. Now this is another one-off. Mm-hmm. Now, we need to go on that run again.
Can we? Brentford away, Liverpool away.
As much as Brentford are playing well and it's going to be a tough game, there's no way, there's no chance that we can't go there and win.
Yeah, they're a promoted side after all. It's not like we're going away to the Etihad. Oh, yeah. Well, we won there, but it's not like we're going to
Anfield or something.
Or Stamford Bridge. We're going to a promoted side, but that's probably, besides Liverpool, I would argue that's going to be our hardest game. I think the Arsenal game, because the way the teams play, both teams are trying to play attacking football, it will be a very open game.
Which will play into our hands a bit more.
Exactly, but Brentford will sharp shop, they'll play exactly like Brighton did today, but Brentford have more quality. They've got more match winners. They've got Eriksen,
yeah.
They've got Ivan Toney at the moment in the form of his life. Is it Norgard or whatever his name is? Nostogard?
Christian Norgard.
That's it, yeah, Norgard. He's a good player as well. So it's going to be interesting, but today it was just one of those days. Nothing fell for us. I thought the referee had a terrible game. I'm not just saying that. I thought, Kulusevski could have been sent off. Could have been. But Mwepu deserved to be sent off.
Agreed.
You can't make 3 fouls when you're on a yellow card.
I think the intent in that Kulu elbow, he probably should have been sent off, to be fair.
Yeah, he probably should have, yeah.
Do you think that because, well, you asked me the same question but in the watch along, but do you think that because Kulu didn't get sent off, it's probably fair that Mwepu didn't get sent off?
Now I look back on it, probably not, because Kulusevski's is such a split second just turn around elbow. So if he catches him, it's a straight red, but he doesn't. But the fact that Mwepu's not done it once, not twice, but 3 times, he's fouled. He stood down on Højbjerg, a yellow card on its own. The referee just plays on. I know we're being salty for calling out the ref, this and that, and we should have won the game, but it doesn't help you when nothing goes your way.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of individuals on the pitch today, today is another bit of proof how much our wing backs really are found wanting for the majority of the game, because Emerson and Reguilon, both of them did pretty much nothing to impact the game today.
Yeah, I mean, we said it, all 4 of our wing backs. I mean, they've got to have an exceptional game to get involved. But we missed Doherty big time today.
Which is mad to think about it because a few months ago,
we all wanted him out.
Ready to toss him out for free.
Yeah, I mean, he's had the fifth most goal contributions since January. He's been involved more open play goals than a lot of players. And recently, he's up and down. I think a lot of people say that Emerson's the better defensive right back and Doherty's the better offensive right back. I think Doherty's just better all around. He adds more to his game. He's more clinical. He creates more chances. He's got a better work rate. Emerson, I don't feel comfortable with him in the team.
So which way do you go for the Brighton game? Obviously, Doherty's out. You don't feel comfortable with Emerson. So what do you do?
I'd put Sessegnon there.
Right back, yeah.
Or Lucas Moura or Bergwijn. Lucas Moura, I don't think would be a terrible wing back because he's got pace. He can get up and down. He's got passion. He actually loves sliding in for balls, but it's just that split chance on a one-on-one against a winger, you know that he's going to get beaten.
Yeah, Chris Muldoon with the super chat saying, we give up mids for poor quality wingers, play to Brighton's strength. Bissouma and co strangled us. Why play wing backs when they offer nothing?
It's very good. It's a very, very good point, you know? It's like in that game, it was about the 50th minute, 60th minute mark, and Brighton were really starting to take over. I thought, you said it, why not go to a 4 at the back? You know, even bringing in Sanchez or Rodon and putting Davis at right back. Davis is going to be a better right back than Emerson Royale. and that's saying something.
I think Reggie was worse than Emerson today.
Yeah, but because we've got Cess and Reggie there, with Doherty's injury, we've got to focus more on that right side. But yeah, I thought Reguilon was extremely poor today.
And yeah, I think, answering my own question here, I think for next game against Brentford, I mean, I would like to take Reguilon out of the team, but we just can't afford to do so.
Put Cess in.
I'd put Cess in at right wing back, or maybe Emerson right wing back and Cess left wing back. I don't know. It's so hard to do.
Because the last time Cess played was at Leeds, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
He got the assist for the Doherty goal. Mm-hmm. So he's proven that he can put a decent cross in, and he has a bit more composure in the final third, where Reguilon gets into so many decent positions. Cole, Patrick, Vineyard has put, I would rather put expression at right wing back.
Just no. No, I wouldn't have expressions at right wing back.
At least he put a shift in.
He would definitely put a shift in, that's for sure. But do we have any guests? Come on, guys, come and have your say on the game. Maybe we'll put the link in the live chat and open it up to non-members as well. Yeah, look, to be honest, I don't blame you not wanting to come on and talk about that game today. It was absolutely a shambles. It was absolutely a shambles today, and
Arsenal are really starting to dominate as well in that game.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, with Arsenal, I mean, they're probably looking. They probably watched that Spurs game.
They're licking their lips, thinking we can really.
Their lips, thinking, look, here we go again with Spurs. Here we go again.
Do you think if? How do I word the question? Do you think if we don't get top 4, Conte walks?
No, I think if he doesn't get backed, he walks.
Because he's come out many times and said that the club have got to match his ambition, right? Is that a match his ambition with players or as an actual club? Because, you know, this is a manager that's come off of winning a league title with Inter Milan. He's won league titles with Chelsea. He's used to, playing with having elite players. There's lots of players out there, like Hakimi's disinterested at PSG, wants to leave. Hakimi would set our team alight from wing back.
Do you think he would come to Spurs though?
If the money's right. If we're in the Champions League, if we get 4th and the money's right, and actually Levy goes, there's an open checkbook, gives it to Paratici, I think he signs. He's played on the Conte before. I think someone like Bastoni, De Vrij, Skriniar, any of them come if we're in the top 4. If we're not in the top 4, it becomes a different ball game. But everyone, this narrative about you can't sign top players when you're not in the Champions League. Man United signed Pogba, Chelsea signed Kante, Arsenal signed Aubameyang.
Romero, we signed Kulusevski.
Yeah, all this narrative, it's just what Arsene Wenger's preached about for years, that top 4 is so important. It's important, but money talks, you know?
Yeah, I think you're actually right there. I think you're absolutely spot on. But it looks like we do have a guest to bring on, and let's go to Asan. Asan, how you doing, mate?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, a bit stressed after watching that game today. What happened today?
I think it's just the team was just slow. I think everything was just slow. I think even from the get-go, passing out from the back, we played around at the back, and then by the time it got to Kane, Son, and Kulu, they had nothing to do, and it didn't change. I thought after half-time maybe Conte would rip into them, sort of like what happened to Aston Villa, and then boom, we'd start going off for the second half. But same thing, and I think no one really today did well, in my opinion. I think maybe Romero tried, but
Oh, where's he gone?
Sam, can you hear us?
Oh,
No?
Hassan's gone. I don't know what happened there, but he was just about to get into full flow, and he got cut off there. But if you are listening, Hassan, still do try reconnect, and we'll get you back on. I've got Jory in the comments saying he's trying to connect to the back end. But no, Jory, we can't see you, so maybe try re-click the link. Do we have a problem with the link or something? John?
Do you... There might be an issue with the link. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We will get people on very, very shortly.
Yeah, as soon as we can. As soon as we see you in the back end, we will add you on.
Someone on Twitter, I was reading a minute ago, said that Conte got it right today and it's the players. How can you say that if he's bringing on Bergwijn with 3 minutes to go?
I mean, is it Conte's fault that we didn't get the ball down on the deck and start passing it as quick as Brighton did? Was it under Conte's instruction why we went for the long ball every time? We don't know these things.
Yeah, but surely as a player, if you're seeing something's not working, you try something else. Like if you're crossing the ball seven or eight times and none of them go in, okay, you try something else. You try a low cross. You try dribbling past your player. You don't try the same thing every single time. You said it. We have no variety to our play.
Yeah.
Hassan is back with us.
All right, let's get Hassan back on. Hassan. You're in full flow there. Carry on.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
we can hear you.
Where was I? I think I was just saying, like, no one really deserved to hold their head high today. I think everyone's quite poor. I think you guys were discussing the wing back situation.
Yeah.
I didn't. Emerson Royale. I mean, when he came in, I was like, okay, young player, maybe he'll be good. And as time went on, so I lost confidence in him. And I thought, okay, maybe he'll step up like Doherty did. But I mean, he doesn't do anything. I mean, defensively, Romero's always with him, trying to help him out.
Yeah.
Moving forward, he doesn't, cross. He doesn't get in the box. He always tries to pass it to another player to do it. And I get he's not a natural right wing back. He's a fullback. But surely he can do, something. Surely Conte's tried to teach him something. And I think even Region today was poor. So when our width is so just non-existent and we're trying to play through the center when we have Bentancur and Højbjerg, who aren't creative midfielders. I mean, what do you expect?
Do you think Conte should have switched it up earlier? Maybe at half-time, change formation,
100%.
go to a 4 at the back?
Like, I like the 3-4-3 works, only if the wing-backs are functioning. That's the only time they work. And if the wing-backs aren't working, then you have to change it up. I mean, Kulusevski, lots of people, when he first came, were saying, he's not quick and all that. That's because he's not a natural winger. He's an attacking midfielder.
Agreed.
So if we're struggling to break low blocks or struggling to play through the middle, what's wrong with putting Kane and Son up front and then Kulusevski behind as a number 10? Or, bringing Bergwijn on behind, or someone who can dribble past or beat a man or something. And, I mean, it's hard to say, but without Kane sort of dictating passes, we have no creativity in the team. I mean, Kane didn't drop as deep as he usually does, and the rest is history.
Do you think that's down to instruction from Harry Kane, or do you think Harry Kane took it upon himself not to keep dropping deep?
I mean, he says in interviews he sort of, deciphers the game and decides whether to drop deep or not. I've heard Conte say that he wants Kane to be, just solely in the box as a number 9. But I mean, we don't have anyone else who's going to be creative enough
Yeah.
if Kane doesn't drop deep.
Especially
So
when you
whether
take off
it's instruction,
Kulusevski as well.
exactly. And the other thing, people are saying Conte, isn't to blame or anything. He has to take some of the blame. I mean, it's good to have a set 11. This is how I want to play. But if those players don't do well, I mean, he doesn't seem like he knows what to do. And I know you look at the bench, you think, okay, Bergwijn's okay, Lucas is okay, but then the rest is, appalling. But you still bringing Bergwijn on in the 87th minute and expecting him to do something. It's just he can't do that all the time. He can't just come in and score a goal. He's not that kind of player. You need to give him some time to get into the game. And
I thought you should have brought
think he
Bergwijn
got it
on
wrong.
50th minute, 60th minute mark.
I agree, but
Yeah.
I'll ask
Yeah.
the question to both of you. I'll start with you, Hassan, but can you tell me, Man United just scored a second, 2-0 to Man U. Can you tell me why that Lucas Moura is always our first sub and Bergwijn is always
I was
doesn't
gonna
come
say
on
that.
until the last couple of minutes?
I was going to say
I
that.
don't
mean,
understand that.
Conte says, Bergwijn's an important player. He didn't want to sell him in January. He's an important player. So then, okay, fine. He hasn't been scoring that well, and you want him to, do something. Wins the game for you at Leicester. Puts in good shifts. Came on at the end of last game. Scored a goal. And he was playing well. He's scoring for Netherlands as well.
Yeah.
And Lucas Moura, I mean, he hasn't done really anything. Even that assist last time for Bergwijn's goal, it was sort of just luck. He lost the touch,
mistake.
and that's how the assist came apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't see Conte can't not trust him if he scored that many goals. I mean,
Do you think it's a
he's
stamina
forward.
issue?
That's what he's meant to do.
With Bergwijn.
Yeah, I think when Bergwijn, when he first joined Spurs, I think he's put on a lot of size and he's lost a little bit of his pace. Kind of like what Mikel Antonio has done. Mikel Antonio used to have blistering pace and now he's an absolute tank. The issue, there's got to be some sort of mentality issue with Bergwijn because it's no coincidence that Nuno, Jose, Conte, even Mason, no one played him. Same as Ndombele. Lucas Moura has the right attitude because he's so COYS, and a passion merchant. And he, you often hear that he's a great admirer around the club. He's good with the youngsters, but Bergwijn for me is the better player. He adds more to his game.
He's showing more at the moment.
Yeah. So from a tactical sense, why are we bringing on when Lucas Moura come on? He did it right, but why are we bringing on Moura before Bergwijn? And it's not just this game; it's every single game. We kind of bring on.
Even if you're gonna bring Moura on before, why does he always bring Bergwijn with 5 minutes left?
Even
what,
less today.
what can he do in
2
5
minutes
minutes?
today. No, I completely
What
agree
can
with
he
you.
do
And
in that time?
well, I mean, you'll point back to the Leicester game and say otherwise, but you can't do that every single game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And what must be going through Bergwijn's head when every time he steps onto that pitch, we see intent there, we see good play, we see a player that's on form, that's showing a bit of confidence, scoring for the Netherlands. 3 goals in 2 games, good performance against Leicester, Newcastle, West Ham for Spurs. What must be going through his head when he can only get 2 or 3 minutes a game, even when we're struggling for goals?
I mean, as a forward, what does the manager want? He wants goals. So when you get goals and you're still not playing, or even if you're not playing, coming on early, I mean, he must be thinking, what more can I do?
Yeah.
Because I can't figure out what else he has to do.
Yeah, I
And
completely
Conte,
agree.
if he's not selling him in January, surely he has some sort of use for him. But if you're not using him, then he's just, I don't know, he's just there, not really impacting anything.
Hassan,
I still wonder why he hasn't used him as a right wing back. Whether that's just not happened. 'Cause people say Emerson, he's good defensively. I think he's still poor defensively. I'm sure Bergwijn could probably do a better job, or Lucas Moura could do a better job. But,
yeah. Look, I guess we'll never know unless Conte tries it out. But the loss today could be very detrimental in terms of the top 4 race. How are you looking at the top 4 race compared to pre-game today?
Really, for top 4, I never said, we're going to get top 4 after those 4 wins, because Arsenal were going amazing. They were getting the wins. They lost a few, and now suddenly, Spurs are favourite. If Arsenal win today, I'm pretty sure they go level on points with us. We have a game in hand. United win today, which is going to happen. They have only 3 points behind us. So, one team does well, one team fails, and it just goes up and down, up and down. No team wants to, grab fourth place and be like, okay, no matter what happens, fourth is mine. And today was a chance to get, 6 points in front of Arsenal, perhaps. And, we didn't do it. Whether that's going to, push our top 4 chances back, it's too early. I know there's only like 8 games left, and me saying too early to decide is kind of weird to say, but it's the truth. I mean, next week we might go smash Brentford. Arsenal may, lose to Chelsea. They probably will lose to Chelsea. Man United might slip up, and again, look, we're secure for top 4. So I really thought after that performance, against Newcastle and Villa, where we were resilient. We went behind 1 in Newcastle and came back. Villa, we got peppered in the first half, and then we came back. I thought, okay, mentality is changing. People are in the club already. The players are ready. And then I'm not even too fussed about the loss because, you lose games. Brighton played well. Fair play to them. But the fact that we were just, walking around, sometimes we were just kicking the ball 1 meter, then walking it after it, kicking the ball again. I mean, surely the players can't be tired. They only play once a week, and they've had 5 days.
Tiredness is not an excuse. I'm sorry, it's just
exactly. So I don't know why. I mean, I watched the Arsenal game last week, and they were the same against Brighton. I don't know whether it's something Brighton do or what Graham Potter does with his teams, but just so lethargic. And I was like screaming at my computer, going faster, pass one touch passes. That's because we do that sometimes.
Yeah, he's got it spot on against Arsenal and Tottenham. Graham Potter's put in 2 masterclasses, and he's come and he's frustrated both teams. That's the way you got to play against us when we struggle against the lower teams, and then we'll go and beat
Man City
or Liverpool.
If only we had City 6 times for the rest of the season.
That's because City, Liverpool, all these teams, they play with such high lines. Well, they play so openly that we get the ball and we counter, and it's beautiful. But, Burnley, Southampton, Wolves, all these teams that we've lost to is because they have a low block and we can't break them down. And Brighton didn't even really play with a low block. I don't really know what happened, but it's back to reality, I guess, for a lot of us.
Yeah, absolutely. All we can do is guess it's hope that Southampton do us a favour today. Doesn't look like Norwich are going to do us that favour, but Southampton, let's hope for them. It's still 0-0. Not long to go to half-time, 39 minutes on the clock now. So we'll see. But Hassan, thanks for coming on today, mate.
No worries.
Some good opinions, good to chat, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, see you. Come on, you Spurs.
Take care, mate.
All right. So the updates so far, it's still the same scores, 2-0 to Man United. Cristiano Ronaldo getting 2 goals.
Have you seen Arsenal's lineup?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Well, what's strange about it?
No Lacazette, Nketiah.
Lacazette apparently has COVID.
Okay, fair enough. Samuel Lokonga in midfield. Oh, Partey's injured. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I understand now.
Yeah.
Come on, Southampton.
It's 0-0. Who? Oh, 1-0 to Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final. Conte. Conte scored 2 in the Champions League, didn't he?
Oh, hang on. Southampton?
Nah. Maybe. Nah.
Oh.
That's 2 corners for Southampton, 2 suspensions, but it wasn't to be. No, it's 0-0 Southampton with 5 minutes to go first half, and 1-0 to Brentford as well. Bob says he's trying to connect. It says waiting to join on his screen. If you can let him.
Conte scores in big games. Both his goals have been Champions League. He scored today.
Yeah,
he's doing the business.
Conte. He's a very good player. But let's bring on our next guest, and that is the competition winner, KPV. Carl, how's it going, mate? Carl? I can't hear you. Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Like yesterday. Having a problem like yesterday, couldn't hear me.
I can hear you now. How are you?
Not really okay at the moment.
Talk to me. What went wrong today?
Honestly, man, like I said yesterday, they weren't going to do a whole city, but take everything back I said about that. Like, They've done the whole city. Like, honestly, what is going wrong with us? Like, why is Conte not bringing Bergwijn on first instead of Lucas more? Like, yeah, like, I don't know, Lucas was our hero in Amsterdam, but why is the Lucas coming on first, not Bergwijn? Like, and taking Son off, and we can see, like, disgrace, bad decision by Conte. Not right.
No.
Son's been on fire, and this happened. Like, Arsenal must be happy that Brighton done us a favour, because apparently, what's his name is an Arsenal fan, one of the Brighton players. Like, yeah, whatever, but none of us really give a toss about that. We're still going to make it in the top four. I don't care. Like, walked out, but, like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, we've got Brentford away who will be tough because they've got Ericsson. Because every time he's played for them, they've won every single game. Tony's in a form of his life. Like, we would it be in Brentford? And that was in December when I saw you, Ben.
Yeah, I remember
So,
it well.
yeah, like, yeah, so we can beat them, but it's up theirs. But, like, they have probably got Norgard, who has just scored already, and he scored for the Danish in the Euros semi-final. But, like, yeah, I don't know what went wrong today, man. But seriously, Winks is poor. Lucas, I know he loves the club, but time for him to go. Like, Emerson Royale, not good. Reglon, I know he bought him under Mourinho, but not good. Like, missing Doherty is a big, what's the word? I don't know, a bit, I don't know what word to say.
I mean, Doherty, we did miss Doherty desperately today. I mean, his late runs into the box, his sort of creativity that he can bring to the team, I think that was definitely missing from the team today. But in terms of the kind of top four race now, Carl, Man United winning 2-0. So as the live league table looks, they're 3 points behind us, same games played. Arsenal seem to be dominating Southampton at the moment. It's 0-0 there going into half-time in a couple of minutes. If Arsenal do win today...
they'll be what? Only 2 points behind?
If Arsenal win today, they'll be same points as us with a game in hand.
I hope not. Hopefully, Cole Walker-Peters can do us a favour. Cole Walker-Peters masterclass coming in.
Let's hope so, mate. I mean, Carl Walker-Peters surely should be working his arse off today to try and get it back for us.
Yeah, because, he did score against Man City earlier, I remember.
Yeah. He did.
So, he's actually in good form.
He is. He'd get to on our team right now.
Would you take him back?
I probably want to set our sights higher, but I probably wouldn't have, in hindsight, wouldn't have sold him. At the time, it made sense, didn't it?
Yeah. Southampton scored. Southampton have won.
Come on! Come on!
Who scored?
It's from a corner. I'm not sure who scored. It was from a corner. But Southampton are 1-0 up here.
Yeah,
the top four race is still alive. Come on.
What are you saying? 6 points behind her.
No, not 6. If we would have won, it would have been 6. It's 3 points at the moment.
Get in.
But
come on.
Yeah, now that
I'm trying to find out who the score is.
It might have been Cole Walker-Peters then.
I doubt Carl Walker-Peters is scoring from a corner, but look, Carl, you brought us the luck on the stream today, mate. You brought us the luck.
Yeah, and check our group chat because I missed you on there, Ben.
No problem. I'll check it. Mate. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you like next week. Like, you're going to be doing a watch on for the Brentford game. Where you going?
No, I'll be at the Brentford game.
Bednarek
scored, Carl.
Bednarek. Get in. Let's go. But, yeah, hopefully we'll have a happy one next week. Like, yeah, hopefully. Not a fuming one, but, yeah. Like, Brentford's going to be tough. We'll probably give Ericsson a good reception.
Definitely.
This is the Ericsson. This might as well be the Ericsson documentary.
It's the Ericsson derby, Carl. But we'll speak about that on the preview show on Friday. But Carl, thank you so much for coming on today. And Norwich have got a goal back against Manchester United as well. Yay! Norwich have got a goal back just before half time. But Carl, we'll speak to you very soon, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on, Carl.
Come on, you Spurs. Leave it out.
So yeah, I think Henry's got to leave early
unfortunately.
today. But thank you all for coming on the stream today, mate. At least it ends on a bit of a positive note.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can see it out. I mean, I said I had a feeling. I said draw. Oh, hang on, Norwich might have a. Oh, I thought Norwich got another one back. But yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you to everyone who subscribed.
Kieran Dowell scored for Norwich. I've never heard of him.
Who is it?
Kieran Dowell.
No, I never heard of him, mate. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Thank for everyone who subscribed. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, hopefully by the time I get home, Southampton will be 2 or 3-0.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you soon.
Big up, Henry. Everyone go and subscribe to Henry Wright TV. Always great having him on the channel, and we'll see you next time, mate. But let's keep going with some... Do we have some more guests? Who? Where was Bob? I thought Bob was in the back end.
He was for about 5 minutes.
All right, so we don't have any guests to talk to at the moment, but slightly positive news with Arsenal going 1-0 down and Norwich getting a goal back. So I guess if Arsenal lose today, it says he's waiting to join with the twisty thing. We can't see you, Bob, in the back. We just can't see you. I'm not sure what's going on. Jory says he's waiting to get in the lobby as well. Do you reckon we should create a new link, maybe? 2-0 Liverpool. Sadio Mane has just scored for Liverpool, which makes it 2-0. So Man City really being put to the sword there in the FA Cup semi-final. Skywalk FC with the super chat saying, Henry nearly walked out with my car keys. That was... 2-0 up there, Sadio Mane. Skywalk FC saying, who are the players you would sell immediately? I think Harry Winks is definitely one of them. Davinson Sanchez has got to be one of them. And I don't know. I mean, the wing backs. You got to look at the wing backs because I don't think Reggie's done enough in the Spurs shirt since he's joined. Apart from those first 4 months since he's come here, Sessegnon has got his injury problems, but I wouldn't sell him just yet. Emerson, he hasn't done anywhere near enough since coming, and I said Winks, yeah, and Winks definitely, but there are quite a few players that have got to go. Is the new link up? Yeah. New link is up, people, on the community section. So go and click that and come and join us, and we'll get you on straight away. So let me just repeat that. There is a new link in the community section. So come on and join me and have your say. Jory, I can see you spamming new link. It's there ready for you. Just all you have to do is go to that community section and click the link and come and join us. Southampton are 1-0 up at half-time. It's half-time whistle has gone in all 3 grounds. Manchester United 2, Norwich 1, Southampton 1, Arsenal 0, Watford 0, Brentford 1. And in the FA Cup, 18 minutes gone only, and Liverpool are 2-0 up. Unbelievable stuff there at Wembley. Do we have anyone waiting yet? I think we've got people coming on now. So just bear with us, guys. Look who it is. It's the Joracle. Finally he gets in. Let's see what he has to say. Jory, let's bring him on. Jory, how's it going, man? You're on mute, I think.
Hold on.
No, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you. Jory, can you hear me? Jory?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Ben.
First of all, how are you doing today?
Not good, Ben. Not good at all. A little bit bit better thanks to our friends in Southampton.
Yeah.
But no, it was kind of terrible. Like, and for me, it was quite disconcerting to see, because I mean, the way I put it down, it's almost all Conte, this loss. You have the
Explain that to
players
me.
you have. Well, you have the players you have, and what we had to put out there was I've talked about this before. We had to put out two La Liga fullbacks instead of real wing backs, and we see how much we're missing Doherty already, which meant that our flanks weren't going to be that powerful in this game. And you can go on about Emerson as you want. He actually showed improvement today. He was defensively among our better players, to be honest. But you can see it with Reggie. Reggie comes from the same background, and it's a huge problem for them. They don't understand the movement. They don't understand exactly what Doherty does. Is like the late powerful run, like the late really assertive run, going with the momentum when the whole block is almost static. Then Doherty comes and darts in there and it kind of blows it all up, and you don't get that, and you get the nervousness. And I mean, you want to talk about Emerson kind of losing his nerve and whatever. Like Reguilon is like, he's much more of a liability and problem in that regard. I can at least give Reguilon the fact that he gets himself in a lot of good positions, but then he completely messes it up.
He doesn't have the composure in the final third at all, does he? Not one bit of composure.
Not at all. And he had. I'll give him that. He did basically give what should have been an assist to Son today, but that was it. Son got unlucky there that he didn't score, but that was basically it. But what happened today is, and like we've been found out, we've got one pattern playing out from the back, and now every manager in the league knows that pattern, and Conte has not been able to drill in alternatives. And what we need to do in this, like what I felt, and I talked about it when I called in on Friday, is like we need to have a way of going fluidly from the 3-4-3 to a 3-5-2, which we can't do without sopping any. Kane drops down to the middle, and Kulo and Sonny go into the 2. If we do that, then we regain the middle. We're losing the midfield constantly now. If we lose the midfield, you can see, it looked like they were lazy, like they weren't pressing, like they weren't running. It's because they didn't know what to do, because the pivot wasn't there. They didn't get any service from the pivot today, because they had I counted it. They never had less than 4 players on Bentancur and Højbjerg, and like I said also in the preview, my biggest worry was if Basuma had a good game, and he had an awesome game.
He was unbelievable today.
Yeah. And what did we have to do? We had to completely slaughter that guy, get him out of the game, put as many resources as possible into that, So like Potter did a real job on Conte, and it's a little bit worrying because Conte didn't react, and you actually saw a shot where he was talking to his number 2 there, and he didn't know what to do. It was clear he was lost for solutions. And of course, I mean, he would have a lot more options if he had some wing backs in there. We don't have the wing backs now. It doesn't. You can't just say that's what you need. Now you need to find solutions for what you have there, And I think I know that Conte doesn't want to go back to the 4 at the back. So I think we should definitely start drilling more into having a fluidity between the 3-4-3 to 3-5-2, Because if we do that, then we at least can get the overload on the midfield. And if we have, and also like the left backs are probably going to be, or the full backs, sorry, are probably going to be more useful in that role rather than as an attacking option. So I would definitely say Conte. Yeah, I mean, of course, we've also been saying how much Conte has been overperforming. So this is maybe back to reality a little bit, but I also want to maybe encourage all of us, not to panic and not to think that our players went all Spursy today. It looks like that for sure, but I really think it's because now we're down to these patterns and these drills and whatever. And if it breaks down completely like today, yeah, then they will be a little bit clueless. Now we really, really, really need to work on a fluid backup, whether it be what I say, like a 3-5-2, or even go back to a 4 at the back or whatever. I don't know. We need to tactically be able to reformat, in play, because if we don't, then we lose. Then the recipe for stopping us is pretty clear. And I think also, like, I was very disappointed with Conte. He should have switched Reggie for Sessegnon at the halftime. He should have been ruthless there. Definitely should have done that, and he should have put Lucas in instead of Winks. His first sub was Winks, which was like, I mean, maybe Winks was doing something good in training or whatever, but like historically, that to me was not the right move at all. I don't know.
Jory, what does Bergwijn have to do to get more than a couple of minutes?
Well, and you could say the same for Lucas, because I mean, I know Bergwijn is hot now, and we should really get more use out of that. But in general, like, we have two players here that are very valuable individuals. They don't fit into the system for sure. We don't have an option. We need to start training them as wingbacks. They need to be more like, they need to be our more offensive versions of the wingbacks. We can have the defensive versions, Reggie and Emerson, and then we can have the more offensive. Then you might be able to play like one offensive on one side and one defensive on, and have a lopsided thing going there. I think Bergwijn, especially, it was like when he did the sub, I thought it was wrong to do Son, even though Son was closed down completely today. I thought if you had put Bergwijn on there with Son, then either one might have gotten joy. Then it's too much to handle on that side, So, but taking exactly Son out, for it's almost a 1-to-1 tactically, So
I mean, I thought at that time you got to take out a defender and put on Bergwijn and go for it at the back. You have to do that and create an overload up front. Exactly.
I wanted Reggie out for Bergwijn. That was what I was hoping for, and I wanted fine with the midfield substitution, but then I would have wanted Lucas as the midfield option and keeping Emerson then instead, So because that meant then Emerson can go into just more like a normal left back, right back. But yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I think Conte, he's maybe, you know how I rate Conte. I consider him the best in the world when you sum it all up. But I definitely think, like, here, for example, a Mourinho would have done a better job in this situation, I think, to be honest. I think Conte is not maybe a ideologue, like I've talked about. Klopp and Pep are ideologues. They have, and Arteta is ideologue. But Conte is much closer. Like, Conte has a couple of versions, and that's what he's going to go with. He's not going to just try and conjure like completely new stuff up like Mourinho will do, So we have to give that man a little bit respect for his tactical brilliance, to be honest. But also, it was so disappointing to see. I mean, even Kane's touch. I'm getting worried now that Kane is getting too cold, because he's not been on the score sheet. Like, he's not been in the thick of action for a bit now, because I thought Kane's touch was quite off as well, So and maybe
let me ask you this, Jory, about Harry Kane, because I thought today that he didn't come back and help in the midfield at all. He wasn't dropping back at all today. And, when you could see the overload Brighton were creating in the midfield on top of our midfield, and not only that, but you could see how we weren't creating any sort of clear-cut chances whatsoever. Why didn't Harry Kane come back? Was that under instruction, or is that due to Harry Kane just desperately wanting a goal and sticking up front?
That is the question, Ben, for sure. Is it instruction, or was Kane I kind of felt like there was a little bit of a grumpiness in the group in general, and maybe we're so sensitive to, maybe they need such constant attention and pampering from Conte, then a couple of days off with COVID is enough to kind of get some bad mentality back in the squad. Maybe that was a bit of it as well. But I also think, like, I don't want to go too far with the Spursiness, because I think if you're completely closed down tactically, these players they're playing completely by numbers that Conte has put down. And if that's not working, then they really don't maybe have the answers, then they don't have the option of trying to make it up as they go. And that's maybe where Kane in the olden days would have taken more. Like, you would see Kane sometimes in these games just get pissed and just go down, take the ball, and just dribble his way through and put one in, and you don't see that now, because I think exactly the instruction is very clear and Kane is very diligent. But maybe Kane should have dropped a little bit. I mean, it was what was needed there for sure. Kane was. I think Kane dropping and having the five midfield and two up front would have helped us a lot there, because Kulu was ineffective as well, So
do you think it was a sending off, by the way?
Say what?
Do you think Kulu should have been sent off?
No, not at all. But by the way, like, I have to say this, like, we're watching the top league in the world. We're watching by far the highest revenue earning league in the world, and the level of refereeing in this league, man, come on, guys, this is really unbelievable. Like, you don't see this in top level European football. It's, I don't know if it's incompetence or corruption in the FA or whatever. It's really, really shocking. We've had 2 games in a row where the referees basically destroyed the flow of play. Last game, with 2 injuries from last game, should have been 4 or maybe even 4 more. It was just pure luck that they didn't get more injuries. So that wasn't helping us, the way the flow got stopped with endless bad refereeing decisions, So, but yeah, it's a little bit worrying. But now I do believe that we should also. I say, like, we know that it's not going to be flawless to the end of the season, so we should also maybe, in our own way, take this, like Conte says, this is a bit of the suffering. This is suffering that we can work on and improve and make the FEAT more improvement in our squad, and that I still believe that's what we're gonna see. We're having a couple of hiccups, but it's gonna be okay, I think. So
we're still gonna make top 4, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, big up, Jory. Yeah. Thanks for coming on today, mate, and we'll speak to you later.
Yeah, see you.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Jory. The second halves have all begun. No goals to report just yet. Liverpool 2 goals up at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. Let's bring on our next guest, Brian Daigle. Brian, how's it going, mate?
Bad morning, bad afternoon, bad evening, everyone. What a shambolic shit show.
Yeah, it really was. And what did you put it down to today?
The most important positions in the Antonio Conte setup are wing backs. They're both pathetic. They're both incapable. We get all excited. Oh, we signed a player from Real Madrid. He's got to be great. He's Real Madrid. No, Real Madrid are smart. We'll sell him to you because we can't play him. If he turns out good, we're buying back for you at a decent price. And Barcelona laugh at us, but we have a player from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Woohoo! They have to be good. I
didn't even think of that, Brian. Like, both our wing backs come from Barcelona and Real Madrid, and that's how bad they are. I mean, I thought Reguilon was so far worse than Emerson today.
By a cut, mate. He is woeful. He is absolutely, and you've heard me for a while say on your show, I'm convinced he's going back to Madrid. And ever since the end of last season, he's been shambolic. An odd game here and there. He is simply not good enough. And just because he came from Real Madrid doesn't mean he gets the woohoo, he's great, he's brilliant. No, he was shambolic. Sessegnon understands and is the player that can play in the Conte system better. You know I'm coming back in June. If Reguilon needs to go, I will pack his bags for him personally and piggyback him to the airport so he can get on a plane to wherever he needs to go. Shambolic. And you know, you've been talking about it. I don't know what the hell Bergwijn has got to do to get on this pitch. In my honest opinion, during that game, what Spurs fan in the world thought when Harry Winks came on, do you know what? It's 0-0. We need a goal. We need a creative spark. I know. Let's bring on Harry Winks.
Yeah.
Conte had to take blame for that. That should have been take off Bentancur or Skip. Skip, if only. Højbjerg, but I think Højbjerg's the only player that came out with the game with any kind of credit. And he should have played Bergwijn and gone more attacking, in my opinion. We needed goals. We needed to put that pressure that we were saying on Arsenal. Simeon was saying to me and everyone yesterday, if we get that win and we show that it's a convincing win, does that put the pressure on Arsenal? Well, it looks like that pressure that we put on ourselves to get that win outdone us. Shambolic.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there. Back on the Winks substitution, I mean, I didn't agree with it, but I'm guessing the thinking behind it was because Bentancur was on a yellow and maybe he could have got sent off if he did persist on the pitch. But talking about sendings off, do you think Kulu should have been sent off first of all? And do you think Mwepu should have been sent off?
Mwepu, yes, for the 2 yellow cards at some point, but Kulusevski for me is a straight red card. And I think the only thing that saved him, and give credit to him, is the Brighton player didn't go down like a Neymar or something, rolling around like an absolute fool. If that had happened, then I think VAR would have looked at it and then it would have been a red. Listen, when you go like that, whether you make content or not, it's intent. And I think from that moment, that's what changed the game. After that moment, Kulusevski had to watch what he was doing. But for me, that is a straight up red card.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you on that one. Harry Kane today didn't drop deep whatsoever, was sticking up there, hardly got a sniff. I mean, every time he got the ball, kind of lost it pretty much. What was going on with him today, and why didn't he drop back and help out the midfield that was clearly being overrun?
Do you know what? I kind of got a theory behind that, and I think we're riding our luck with this. After he got that big knock and he started gingerly jogging and whatever after that, he probably doesn't want to drop deep because they're all just going to absolutely smack into him. And literally, if they all do that, you saw against Villa, they tried it. Then Brighton today tried it. We've got to keep him safe. And I think if he kept dropping deep, those tackles were going to keep coming in on him. And you saw with that ankle knock, I think he's one serious, I don't know why, but I think that's going to be a target for everyone. And we've just got to be very careful with him. Very careful with him, especially after this result. And that's the reason I think he didn't drop back. He probably was told because they're whacking into him. And I actually think as well, Conte, with him not being there because of COVID and whatever, and we're saying, okay, modern technology, he was coaching from afar. Do you know what? I think this had a huge part to play on it because Conte from afar is nowhere near as intense as Conte right on the sidelines barking orders and watching you like a hawk. And I think that's had something to do with it. Obviously, Conte can't help it. He got COVID and he had to do what he had to do. But they're the two things. A, Conte not being on that sideline, and B, Kane we can't risk him dropping deep and getting knocks like he's been getting.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the top four race now, how are you looking at it?
Well, I'm praying Southampton just keep this up. I mean, it happens. I'm not. I don't. It's not even that word I want to use. But why does this happen every time? We can go on a 4-game winning run. We get into the exact position where we're in prime position to really stamp our authority on it. Every single time we get 4 or 5 games on a run, and then that game where it's like, okay, this one will show that you mean business. One up, we put in a performance like that. It just happened. Do you know what? You can say Spursy when it's finals or semi-finals, but when this continuously happens, time after time, you do all the hard graft to get you there, and then you just flop. It's unacceptable. It's a lack of strength and depth. It's a lack of leadership. It's well, you know where I'm going with
have just scored. Norwich have just scored 2-2. 2-2.
Do you know what? Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, every single Lord fucking up there. Jesus Christ, mate. Jesus Christ. How lucky are we that no one wants fucking. How lucky are we that nobody wants this? It's like, no, I don't want to play Champions League. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Norwich. Jesus,
obviously, it's not over yet. It's only 52 minutes in the game, but Man United were 2-0 up in this game at Old Trafford.
And do you know what? And I've seen fans going, oh my God, look at Man U protest. Well done, Man U, for protesting. You protest, you get Sancho, Ronaldo, and Varane, or whatever you pronounce his name. We get Emerson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
Are we going to make top 4, Brian? Are we going to make it?
Oh, Jesus. Do you know what? I was saying no for ages. Then I changed. I said, no, I think we do. And just as I start warming to the idea, they do this. And I'm like, do you know what? Do you know what, mate? We're at the moment, as it stands, with results again somehow going our way. I've got to say yes. But as I said to you, and as I've said before, and as I said when we took over the show, the Brentford game is the one that I think is the banana skin.
But you're looking at it now, Brian. Our next 4 games don't look too easy because we got Brentford away, Leicester at home, Liverpool away, and Arsenal at home.
Yep, and I've got a good friend who's a Leicester fan, Wayne Holland. You know the story behind that, and so does Bob, who I know in the background. And he told me a stat as well. He goes, for the last few seasons, when someone has won, like the first fixture which we had, and obviously we know the fixture at Leicester, I was there with Simeon and Grandpa, the other team has won the return fixture for the last 4, 5, 6 years. So if stats are to go anything by it, that just became a little bit harder. But yeah, it looks like these fixtures it looked like it may have been something. Brentford, I've said, is a huge banana skin. Liverpool, listen, if we can get anything, it's a miracle. Then Leicester, and then it's is it the filth then, or is it another game before the filth?
It's Liverpool, then the filth.
Right, Liverpool. Jesus Christ!
You see what I mean?
This is how quickly this can turn, and this is why if we'd got these 3 points and got over the line. Then obviously we're talking about these 4 games in a much more better light. But now we've just put so much unneeded pressure on us.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. And Watford have just equalised against Brentford, which is something. But anyway, Brian, thanks for coming on today, my friend, and we'll speak to you next time.
No worries. I can't do the fingers because I'm on location with the phone, but I have to say Conte takes a bit of the blame but for the substitutes. But as always, Levy out.
See you later, Brian, mate. Always great getting Brian Daigle's comments there. Unbelievably so that Norwich have scored the equaliser, Timu Pukki. So it's 2-2 there at Old Trafford. Southampton still leading against Arsenal, and Watford just grabbed an equaliser against Brentford with Emmanuel Dennis. It's 1-1, and obviously the FA Cup semi-final is still 2-0 with the clock ticking down nearly at half-time there, going into the last minute of the half. But let's bring... Mane scored? 3-0. Oh, 3-0 Liverpool. Unbelievable. 3-0 Liverpool. It's not even half-time yet. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Liverpool. We're here to talk about Spurs. And let's bring on our next guest. And that is the great Bob Spur TV. Bring him on. Bob, how are we doing today, mate? Oh, he's frozen. Is he frozen? Bob, try reconnect. I'm not sure what happened there, but you just froze. But we'll try get you back on. Is there anyone else waiting? Ah, look who it is. Look what the cat dragged in. Mr. Irish Hotspur. Let's bring him on. We'll bring him on in a second. Just bear with us. All right, Dave. How we doing, Dave? On mute. It's us. It's our end. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, look, I'm pissed off like everybody else out there, Benji. I mean, today was absolutely shambolic. We never got going whatsoever. But I will say to Spurs fans out there is no need to panic whatsoever. I mean, look, we've been on a good run of late. And what I will say is like, look, let's not throw our toys out of pram after one defeat. Everybody has an off day at the office. Look, I see a lot of people talking about Harry Kane and that. To be honest with you, just to answer the question, because I know you're probably going to ask me, Ben, is the reason why I don't think Harry Kane dropped too deep is because purely the space we had today to play in was out wide. Anything good that we had came from getting in behind them out wide. And I think Brighton blocked up that middle excellently well. That, just because we struggled to get the ball to the front three all game, in my opinion, struggled to get it to them all game long. And I feel sorry for that front three, because they've done everything they can over the last few weeks to pull us into this position. And today, when they have the off day, you just don't have anybody else behind them stepping up to now. I think that was the biggest problem. And plus, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, I get what you're saying about Kane. There wasn't much space in the middle there, but wasn't that part of the problem today? Because Bissouma, Mwepu, Caicedo, they dominated that midfield so heavily. I mean, Højbjerg was trying his best to do stuff in the middle there, but what we've had in our armory over the past couple of weeks is Harry Kane dropping deep, is him creating that extra man in the midfield so we can dominate that midfield even better than we have. So why didn't he drop back? Maybe if he did drop back today, it could have helped us even more of that midfield because we were getting overrun there.
Yeah, maybe so, but I just didn't see the space there for him to drop into today, to be honest with you. I actually think Brighton blocked up that middle very, very well. Like, even at times we were struggling to get the ball into Højbjerg and Bentancur because Brighton blocked up that midfield. But as well, I think, look, all around, there was a lack of movement off the ball all game long, to be honest with you. I think that was a massive problem. Look, whether it be Kane, Son, Kulu, Bentancur usually drops into the pockets of space to receive the ball, was a statue out there today. All around, I don't think we done enough off the ball. I think when we were on the ball, we were very slow. It was passive. It was walking football at times across the back, and we just couldn't get anything going through the middle. But the spaces Brighton did allow us was out wide. You're looking at Emerson. You're looking at Reguilon. Get the ball. Beat your man. This is what this game is crying out for. Beat your man. Get balls into the box. We didn't want to do it. But look, things were bad. But outside of the first 11, you should be able to rely on other players to come in and make an impact. You have Lucas Moura sitting there watching the game for 60 minutes. Winks sitting there watching the game for 70 minutes. Bergwijn sitting there watching the game for 85 minutes. Well, not really Bergwijn. There's nothing you can do in 5 minutes. And I will touch on that in a sec. But Winks and Lucas, like, you're sitting there. You've been out of favour. Surely you're sitting there looking at that game, analysing where's the space? Where can I pick up this ball? How can I affect this game? Lucas came on. He may as well have been on a trampoline trying to control the football. Loose touches everywhere. And Winks came on and offered exactly what Bentancur offered. If you're Harry Winks, you've got to come in. You've got to offer something different. Seize your opportunity. Take your moment. Nobody wanted to do it today whatsoever. I actually felt we were scared from minute one that nobody out there wanted to be the one to let us down today. And I think that affected us.
Yeah, and ultimately it ended up being they all let us down today. But, the Jory was talking today that he blames Conte today for his in-game management, not seeing the problem or solving the problem. Do you agree?
Look, I look at the substitutions. I think Bergwijn should have been the first one off the bench anyway, ahead of Lucas and ahead of Harry Winks. I do think when he brought on, Harry Winks, it should have been for one of the centre-backs. Should have probably went for the game. But at the end of the day, do you know what, Ben? I'd be a hypocrite if I sat here and criticise Conte or blame Conte, because at the end of the day, we all know as Spurs fans, there's a reason why we put the same 11 week in, week out. It's because we don't have anybody else to come in. Yeah. So if we know that we don't have anybody else to come in and we don't call for these guys to start whatsoever, why do we expect that they're going to come off the bench and change a game? With Conte, it's kind of like pick your poison. Pick your poison. He could have picked any one of them today, and they wouldn't have made a difference. There's just no impact. But we know that for most of the season. The only player that's had an impact off the bench all season long is Bergwijn. He's the only one.
Yeah.
Lucas has rarely had an impact. Winks just doesn't have an impact whatsoever. And it's kind of like, I don't blame Conte purely because it's kind of like, look, it's the same formation that got us into this position. You know, the same players that got us into this position, a lot of them that started out there today. And then we all know we don't have a subs bench. Conte is doing the bare best with the bare 11 he has to try and get us over that line.
Yeah, absolutely. A quick question on the potential sending offs today. Do you think Kulu and Mwepu both should have been off today, or what's your opinion on them?
Yeah, look, Kulu should have seen red. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I don't really mind that. I like to see that bit of fight, that bit of aggression. Like, look, I can understand it. The guy, Cucurella, Cucumber, whatever you want to call him, he was pulling out of him, you know what I mean, and everything else. And he just kind of lost his head for a moment. Now, it could have been very costly. He got away with it. I'm delighted he did, but it should have been a red card. And look, and Mwepu, I mean, what, he made 2 or 3 fouls after picking up his yellow card? I mean, seriously, how can you not get sent off? But the reason why they didn't send them off is because they didn't send Kulu off. You know, they tried to even it out, in my opinion. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say the game hinged on Mwepu not getting sent off and stuff like that, because it's just not the case. We didn't do enough to win it whatsoever.
And finally, in terms of the top 4 race now, I mean, it all seemed like at the end of the game, the top 4 race may be blown wide open. But currently, Arsenal losing away to Southampton. Obviously, the game's not finished yet. And Norwich have just got the equaliser against Manchester United. I can see the smiles gleaming off your faces. I'm guessing you're still backing us for the top 4.
Look, it's more so relief, I'll be honest with you. But no, look, I'm still backing us for the top 4, to be honest with you. Look, you look at United's remaining fixtures. Liverpool, Arsenal, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, Palace. Could lose every single one of them potentially with the way United are at the minute.
Yeah.
You go into Arsenal's remaining fixtures, especially their next 3. They have Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham. You know, and then after that, then they have us, and they also have Everton, who are scrapping relegation. So again, not easy fixtures. I look at our fixtures, I think we have the more favourable fixtures, to be honest with you. Look, today was the letdown, but let's not go into meltdown. Everybody has a bad day at the office. We're all human at the end of the day. You know, like we've all woken up one day and gone into work tired and had a bad day. But the thing is, you just don't follow up the next day. So next week when we get out there against Brentford, we got to go out there with the desire and the hunger to actually affect the game, to affect it in the right way today and not worry about making mistakes. But look, I've always believed, Ben, you asked me at the start of every season, can we get top 4? Yes, we can. You asked me during the season, can we still get top 4? Yes, we can. And it's not changing now. I'm going to believe until mathematically it's not possible. And that's just the sort of fan I am. I definitely don't think there's any sort of concern to go into meltdown over today's result. Look, it hurts. We're all hurt and we're all pissed off. I mean, winning today would have put us in an unbelievable position. But you got to dust yourself down, pick yourself up next week and go again. You know, at the end of the day, what I asked from this team was, even if you don't get top 4, at least for the rest of the season, give it a bloody damn good try and give it all you've got. And they've done that so far. Today is a blip in the radar. You know, it's a blip in the radar. We were after winning the last 4 on the bounce, ripping teams apart. Results like today happen, but it's just not important not to follow them up again next week. We have to follow up with a win next week.
Would you be as positive if Arsenal were winning right now?
I still would be. Yeah. Look, I just don't believe Arsenal will get top 4. I don't think their manager has the capability. Like I said before, he's Pep Guardiola's side check. You know what I mean? I think they also have a bit of a young, naive squad. I think it will get to them. One player I do want to talk about today, though, was Eric Dyer. I was very disappointed with him at the end. I was very disappointed with that whole goal, to be honest with you, Ben. I mean, I think it was Danny Welbeck got the flick on. He was in oceans of space, nobody around him. The runner who picked up the ball in acres of space, no one around him. Romero's battling for the ball, trying to dig it out. And Dyer's just standing there watching. But then to turn your back on a shot, I know he dummied it, but to turn your back, I mean, does this guy, like, the defenders not get paid to put their body on the line?
Yeah, no, 100%. He got twisted inside out today for that goal completely.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Look, at the end of the day, look, he's had a very good season this season. But now is the time when we need you most. These sort of games, when our front three isn't firing, when we're not clicking out on the pitch, at least keep the clean sheet and get out of there with a point. That goal was avoidable if he just went out there with the intention of putting his body on the line. He didn't. He got sold dummy and he opened up the goal, opened up the whole goal for Trossard to shoot at. It's absolutely appalling. When things aren't going well, these are the games we need you most. Not when we're winning 4 or 5-0. Today.
Yeah. Completely agree with you, Dave. Completely agree. But look, I think you're absolutely right. As you say, I think the Spurs fans, we need to stay calm and we need to just keep on our job, concentrate on ourselves. And if we can pick up that form and just use this as like a little blip, then I think we do get the top 4.
Yeah, I do too. Look, at the end of the day, we've got 6 games left. Let's give it hell. Let's go at it. Give it absolutely everything. If we don't get there, we've given it a good try. Yeah. But at least go down, at least die trying,
Absolutely. Dave, always great to get you on, mate. Thanks for coming, and we'll speak to you soon.
I'll see you soon. Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.
Exactly. Big up. Big up to Dave. Big up to the Irish Hotspur. Anyone else? No. Okay, I think that is going to be it for today. We do have a few super chats to get through, so let me go through them. Jay says that they did a good job to slow us down in the middle and double teamed on Sonny and Kane. Reggie and Emerson had to come through, but they failed. Yeah, completely agree with that. The Assassinator says opposition's no-off formation 3-4-3, our starting 11 and our tactics with Kane dropping deep and the runners behind. We need different tactics. But sometimes, yeah, I think you're right there, but also, we missed Doherty big time today. We missed his creativity and we missed his arriving late in the box as well. I mean, if we had Doherty today, I wouldn't say maybe we wouldn't have won, but we would have had a much better chance to win. And yeah, fine, Brighton deserved the win today and they played better than us, but we should not be conceding goals like that as well. Jory with the super chat, big up Jory, says, spot on David, Dyer managed 2 mistakes in that goal. And Rambro says, not good enough today. No fire, no belief, but a smile is put on my face. My grandson is 1 today. It's party time. Come on, you Spurs. So happy birthday to your grandson, 1 year old today. So just before we leave, I'll give you an update on the scores with 20 minutes left to play. Manchester United 2, Norwich 2, Southampton 1, Arsenal 0, and Watford 1, Brentford 1, with Manchester City 3-0 down in the FA Cup semi-final at the hands of Liverpool. But we'll be back tomorrow morning for Good Morning Tottenham, when me and Sim will delve even deeper into what happened on the pitch today for Tottenham Hotspur. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.